Hi guys, welcome back to Motorsport Manager. I say welcome back, this is the first episode of the new season, the new series even, and we're going to do things a little bit differently this time. We're going to carry on creating a team, however. We are going to do a create team, and instead of doing a GT, we're going to start off in Formula E. Now, I know Formula E is going to be a challenge, I've already known that, because if you look here, points for the top 10 only. It's going to make things difficult for us, but if there's anything, I kind of like the challenge. We could go to tier 2. I kind of like tier 10. I want to start from the bottom and go to the top. That is the plan. So that's what we're going to do. We are running a mod this time round though, and the mod we are running is the ice mod. I have got a team name this time round. We're going to be Enigma Racing. Enigma Racing? It's going to be Enigma. Don't know about racing. Don't want to do Enigma Force. Don't want to do Enigma Force. So let's find a nice little logo, shall we say. It's alright, because it's kind of like the shadow of the, it's like an enigma, it's mysterious. Maybe. Don't want to go red, black and white though. I don't want to go red, black and white. We do have some custom colours here that we've done, but I'm not interested in them. Because it's an enigma, we want to go black, I think. And maybe a nice blue. A nice blue. A nice blue. Do we want blue ball blue? I don't know. Do we want blue ball blue? We might have blue ball blue as a tertiary colour and then go with a darker sort of almost black blue, and then have tertiary colour as blue ball blue, and then white as a trim colour, because I do like a bit of white. Now, because this is a mod, there's a lot more for us to pick with delivery, so shall we have a look at them all? So these are your standard liveries that come with the DLC, by the looks of things. I missed one out there. Cool, I kind of like that in that colour. That is quite nice. That is rather sexual. And then there's the livery pack. So you get a little bit of, like, there's a bit of a digital camo. That's leopard print, is it? Hard to tell with these colours. I think that's leopard print. Paint splashes, I guess. A little bit of smoke. I'm not sure about that one. Scales, fish scales. I don't mind the scales. I don't mind the scales at all. Not. It's pretty sort of average. Polka dots, not keen. Stripes, well, not stripes, but it's sort of like speed stripes. And don't know. The fade out is pretty cool. I kind of like that. Ooh. You know what? I think I've found our livery. What's that? Page 10. That's number 10 on the livery page. We'll come back to. Ooh. Ooh. That's a skull? Yeah, the skull's in there. I kind of like that, actually. I think we're going to go with the splash. We're going to go to water splash. Yeah, we're going to go to water splash. That's fine. The team uniform, we need to go with our new colours, which I didn't save. Let's go back to the car livery, and we'll get the secondary colour. We need to remove. We need to go with a different thing now, don't we? So let's remove that, go with that, get this one down to here, add that, apply the colour, and then go up here, apply the colour. It's a bit darker, isn't it? I don't fucking care, to be honest. We're going to go white, and then we're going to take that colour on, like so. The logo, I think it's going to have to be white outline with that blue. How's that look? Barely fucking see it. So it'll have to be that. I'm happy with that. You happy with that? I'm happy with that. I'm still not sure about the racing. Still not sure about the racing. Is there anything I can think we should change it to? Probably not. Probably not. Enigma Force. Do not like Enigma Force. Enigma Shadow. Enigma Shadow. Hi ladies, I'm Enigma Shadow. No, let's not do that one. I think just Enigma Racing. I think that's fine. I think that's fine. But I'm liking that car. That is something special. That. Yeah. You finish editing? You fuck yes, I am. So, our investment offers. Now we can take the low pressure, which because obviously we're not going to get much coming in financially, seems like the best option. But I want to go with Wait. I want to go with Golden Tiger. Golden Tiger. One, because Golden Tiger sounds cool. Mostly because of this pre-built test track. Now, why do I want the pre-built test track? The 3-star chassis, that's for 1 season. 40% team marketability. We're not going to be winning races, so that's just going to go boop, 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 very, very quickly. However, the pre-built test track is going to stay with us. So we're going to go with that. Plus more money to start doing things with. We're going to skip a lot of the preamble bollocks. We're going to have a look at the car. We're going to have a look at the drivers, see how things are. This episode is not going to be a race. This episode is purely going to be an introduction to the series, and then very shortly afterwards we'll have our first race and so on and so forth. So we'll get from here, we'll lead up to the race and then fuck it off. Okay? I'm sure people are going to go, well, I don't want to watch it then, but that's just how I'm going to do it. And then in the next episode we'll get things. Basically this, we're going to have a look, see what we can get to improve the team. Now this worries me already. So car wise, worst on the grid. Drivers, second worst. Headquarters worst. Staff worst. Second worst for the sponsors. Well, we haven't got any sponsors at the minute, so it doesn't really matter. Let's go to the mail. Our targets for the first season, we're going to go with 10th. I don't think we're going to improve on 10th. I don't want to upset the boss. I'd like for an 8th, but I don't want to upset the boss. So our drivers are awful, our design is awful, our mechanics are awful. Right, okay. I think we'll start with the headquarters. So we do have a test track, however I do want a scouting facility. We need to start getting in better drivers. I also, while I'm here, want to upgrade the factory so we can actually improve our parts that little bit faster. At the minute, we're only going to be able to improve two parts at a time. That's all we're going to be able to improve, 2 parts at a time. So I'd like to be able to improve 4. So if we can get to the point where we can improve 4 parts at a time, I'd be happy. If we can get to the point where we can improve 10 parts at a time, then I'd be even happier. That's going to take a little while though. But we'll start with the staff. That is where we need to start with. We need to get rid of this piece of shit here. She's probably not a piece. I'm sure she's a lovely woman, Mariana Raposo. I'm sure she's lovely, but she's not good enough for this team. We're not going to be able to get a 4-starer. We're not going to be able to get a 3.5-star. We might be able to get this guy, possibly. Potential. So it's 3.2 stars with potential to be a 5-star guy for us. Wage is important. He wants a medium. I'll give you a medium contract, mate, and you want a nice signing on fee, bonus size. So if we tell him that he can finish 5th or above, or if we finish 5th or above, we'll give him big bonuses. Okay. Lots and lots of money. Lots of money. We'll give him the biggest signing on fee we can, but we're going to try and limit him to 151 grand a race. And yeah, we'll see how that pans out for us, shall we? Let's go back one, see who else we can potentially pick up for this team. Pietro Senatore, maybe. Elio Bernacci. Or Elio Bernacci. Well, we're not going to be able to unlock that, unfortunately. Instantly upgraded. It's a nice thing. Unlocks an additional good component slot. That's a good thing as well. We'll approach him. He's going to be a lot cheaper. That is a bonus. Because although he's not quite as good, he doesn't have as much going on for him with regards to bonuses. Less money a week, or less money, I'm thinking a week because of Football Manager at this point. I've just finished playing a Football Manager save, actually, for Liverpool. Was it for Liverpool? It was for Liverpool. I'm doing 3 saves on Football Manager a minute. There's the Twitch save, which not going too well. There's the Liverpool save, which has started to have an up and up. And then there's the Journeyman save, who I'm currently playing with Celtic, which is doing quite well, actually. So, yeah. Let's go back to these guys then. So let's go to the staff. Now, next thing to do is get decent mechanics. Now, what I like to do with my mechanics, so if we highlight this guy here, so he's got reliability, performance, pit stops, and part fixes. Now, to me, those are the 4 more important things. Chemistry's good, concentration's good, but those 4 bits are the best to me. And we want one person with really decent reliability and part fixes, and one person with really decent performance and part fixes. If one of them has like shit, say it's really good reliability, but shit performance, that's fine, as long as the part fixes are good and the pit stops are good. So Stephen Lane's no good to me because his pit stops and part fixes are dog shit. Philip Gleisner, he's not quite good enough. Thomas McBride, however, could be an option. Matthew Ogle, maybe. Got Ogle, is it? Jean-Francois, no. Roger Dunbar, maybe. There's one thing, PlaySport, if you're watching this, is it PlaySport or Play Games? I can't remember now. Developers, basically, if you're watching this, one thing I would like you to add in at some point is the ability to search by, like, skill points, by ability. I'd really appreciate that. It would make life a lot easier for everyone. So, like, this guy here would be ideal if it wasn't for his part fixes. Thing Heng, no. Lucas Masset, no. I've been looking more unemployed drivers. Let's go. We're not going to be able to get those ones, are we? Fuck, why am I going up there? Paolo, no. Justin Taylor, no. Gary Cannon, Kenny Harding. If it went for his part fixes. Roger Dunbar. He's got 11 on the pit stops, but 16 on the part fixes and 17 on reliability, so I might pick up a Dunbar if I can. Toby Hart. That's ideal, you see. So part fixes, pit stops and reliability. I'm doing this off camera. I'm doing that off camera over here. So pit stops, reliability and part fixes are all good. But he's not happy to join us. Doesn't want to drop down to Formula E, which is fair enough. I wouldn't want to either. And I'm here. So Stephen Lane. Just those other bits. Ogle? No. Matthews? No. It's those part fixes. That's the issue. Francis West. Now I should probably explain why I want those. Now pit stops, obviously, you need them good. You need good pit stops. That is a sort of obvious thing. See, he's all right actually, Bobby Graves. You'll do. But you're not interested, okay? So what we'll do, we'll quickly show you. So when we go to the improved parts thing, you can see we've got two guys on the right hand side here. So we've got one doing performance, one doing reliability. Now obviously the higher their stats on performance and reliability, the faster the performance increases, reliability increases. With the part fixes, that implies, if I remember rightly, during the race that they'd be quicker at fixing parts, because sometimes, especially at the start of the season, parts break down. Pit stops go without saying, but you want one who's good at reliability, one who's good at performance, and then you can basically do things quicker. That's what it is. Because one guy is sort of allocated to one driver. So yeah, so that's why that is. So let's go get back into this. Jivey Troinen, no. Antoine Voyer, no. Trevor Atkinson. That's just those pit stops that are letting me down there. Danny White, Alex Gray, no. No, I can't with the part fixes. Just those part fixes are no good for me. Ali Becerra, no. David Contry. See, I know this is dragging out. That's the problem. I really want to quickly find someone. And I want to do it on camera. One, because I'm lazy and I can't be asked to cut it out. And two, because then you can see how I get myself set up. Now, this guy, Lucas Masset, he's got a lot of potential. So I think we're going to go for him. He's pretty average. We'll offer him 43. There you go. He's a pretty average sort of mechanic at the minute. But he's got the potential to be amazing. And he's going to be a massive improvement on what we've got. So that is the main thing. Plus he might be quite cheap because he's unemployed. And he's only 25. Lucas Masset. Thomas Orlan. So wait a second. Lucas Masset. So we need to find someone who's decent with reliability. Now I would consider reliability to be more important than performance. A lot of people might not necessarily, but it's just a me thing. So we need someone with decent reliability. And this is where, you know, Charlie Lefort, maybe. I don't know. This is where having this search by skill thing would be really, really useful. These are getting too bad, unfortunately. It's those pit stops. I'd take Colby if I went for those pit stops. I think we're going to go with Hugh Wright, possibly, if he will join us. He's pretty average. Will Gardner join us? Not interested. Okay. As you can see, I'm getting a little bit stressy already about this. It's because they're having to drop down, whereas the unemployed ones who aren't good enough are quite happy to. Maxim Grubb from Jaguar. You want to join a team in a higher championship? Well, if you join us, mate, we could potentially get to a higher championship. You never know. We're going to go with Wanda Adams if she joins us. There we go. He joins us, apparently. I thought Wanda was a female name, but... That being said, I used to go to school with a guy who was Portuguese. His name was Wanda Pereira, actually. A long time ago now. I left school. He was the year above me at school, actually. And I used to hang around with a lot of the guys who were older than me. Plus, I used to hang around with a lot of people, actually. But I was quite friendly with the year group above me. Mostly because... without wanting to brag, because it's not really a brag, it's just because I was physically more developed than a lot of people in my age group, even sort of like 14, 15, 16. The school decided to push me in to a different year group, upper year group, because it was a little bit more competitive for me, plus I was hurting some of the kids my age. So that's why that happened. So what we're going to do is improve parts. Now, the part I want to improve the most is the engine. So we're going to improve the reliability on that engine straight away. We're going to get it nearly to 100%, and we're going to start designing the new parts as well. But the new parts we're going to design first are the cheap parts, so the suspension, because the woman we've got at the minute is shit. And we're going to go with that one because that's the best part we can make there. It's going to cost us 800 grand up front, but we need to make a start on developing these new parts. Otherwise, we are going to stagnate at the bottom, and we don't want to stagnate at the bottom. So, interview with Eurosport. Okay. Certainly picked a tough task for your first job. As you can see, they've got a real news reporters on this mod as well. Martin Haven at Eurosport. Okay. No one watches Eurosport. It's terrible. I don't even know who Martin Haven is. Certainly picked a tough task for your first job. Are you expecting to pick up many points at all this season? I think we're going to say we're quietly confident that we'll manage a few decent finishes. These drivers, their happiness has gone up. Gomez, a senior fan, is top drivers. I'm lucky enough to be inherited two great drivers. They both get a morale boost. That's the thing, you've got to play this. Sometimes, basically, it's really easy to play this. So if it looks like it might piss someone off, it's probably going to piss them off. If it looks like you're going to keep someone happy, it will probably keep them happy. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to try and boost the morale of our drivers. The drivers we've got in a minute are shit. We're going to have to replace them at some point, but we need to scout some, which I haven't actually made a start on doing yet. We're going to have to do that. Right, you're expected to finish 10th. Prediction seems fair, but I'm hoping we're going to surprise you. So no improvement there, sort of like a middle of the ground type of thing. We all remember your time as a fan favourite racer a few years back. So what happened is, when you create a team and you create your character as such, there are sort of backstories you can go with. Now, and each different backstory gives you different options. So it's like, for example, if you, I think it's like a politics background gives you more votes in the season on rules. I personally went with the former driver, so that each of my drivers now get a +3 to their feedback rating, and I'll explain some of the ratings in a bit. If you don't know Motorsport Manager, basically, I'll try to explain what I can as I go along. But the feedback rating is a decent rating. You know, it's a decent stat to have. I would say I'm gonna go with, I know the ins and outs of what a racing driver needs to make a great car, and then that's improved their morale as well. Not by much, but I'd say they went up. And they've both gone up by 12% on their morale, so that's good. So we need to renegotiate. We need to renegotiate with, was it Brian Newman? Was it? It is. So let's go to contract renegotiation. So it is the wages that he's not happy with, which I thought was going to be the case. So I don't want to offer him full whack. I kind of want to offer him sort of like a little bit. Obviously, we want to give him as little as we can. So actually, I'm going to try and get him just. Actually, we'll do that. I don't think he's going to be happy. I mean, what's the maximum we can give him? He's not getting that. Sorry, mate. I'll give you that. All right. So as you can see, under his name, we've got Patience. Now he's had 2 strikes. He was massively insulted. So we're going to do that. He was massively insulted when we offered him that amount of money. So we've now got 1 chance left to get him into the team. Now, obviously, I'm not overly fussed. We're having a look at 2 guys. I'd like to get him in. What does he have available to him? Adds a random good component. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be good. Performance. Produce an extra part for no extra cost or time. So produce an additional part. Is that... Oh, so it's not a component. Oh, that is fucking good. We want him. So basically, what's going to happen, I think, anyway, the way that's worded to me is that every time we create a, like, say for example, an engine, he will also then make a second engine, exactly the same. which is very, very handy to have. Very, very handy indeed. Yeah, we want him. It goes without saying, we want him. So, Wanda wants to renegotiate. I figured that would be a little bit of a blowball offer. So, as you can see, we've really pissed him off. Two patients gone down. I'm going to offer him 62. See if he takes that. So, we've got another contract proposal here. In fact, we've got two. So, they both want to renegotiate. That was Wanda. This is Elio Bonacci, and that's Lucas Massey. So Elio Bonacci is the... So that's the last chance we've got on that one. Okay. I'm not too worried about Elio Bonacci. Lucas Massett, however, I would like. He's the other semi-decent. I want to go full whack. I want to try and lowball as much as I can. I want to keep costs down. We've got a race coming up soon. We've got some sponsors available to us, so let's see if we can get some money in. Now... we're going to go with the 6th or above. In the middle. Reason being, we're not going to get any of those targets. We're not going to hit 3rd. We're not going to hit 6th. We're not going to hit 5th. But they're offering £2 million up front, which is always nice. So we'll take that one. That'll pay for an engine. Slot 5. 10th or above. So 400 grand up front, 100 grand per race. 100 grand, 100. So these are all exactly the same, except 10th could be doable at some point during the season. So we're going to take that one. What else have we got back here? So now we've got to do a little bit of calculations here. So that middle offer from Duracell, that is worth 4.8 million, 500,000 per race. That's 4 million plus 800,000 up front. Lipton, that is going to be, I'm having to think about it here now. It's 2.4 million plus another 400,000, so it's 2.8 million plus a 2.5, so that's 5.3 million. And then the last one, Granini, 8 races, that's 1.6 plus 80 grand, so that's 5.18 million. So it's very tight between Lipton and Granini. I'm thinking we take the 3.5 million up front. Yeah, we'll take the 3.5 million up front. I think it's the lesser offer, if I remember rightly. I didn't really listen to myself. But I think we'll take that. Now we've got one more available to us. And these aren't very good. But this one is basically this one is saying you need to get 13th or above to get the bonus payment. We're not doing that. We'll take a fixed one. These are both exactly the same. So we're going to go with Expedia. We're 50 grand up front and 100 grand per race. Still have 2 more sponsorship slots to fill in before the end. We've got some stuff going on. Why? Oh, right, because we've already done that. So let's have a look for new drivers. Let's have a look at some new drivers. Let's go to drivers. So we want to scout the unemployed, basically, and the higher up the better, I believe. So we're just going to scout a load of... We can get 15-year-old in at that height rate. You know, that might be nice. So with drivers, there are certain things they get. They get certain benefits, some of them. Now, I don't know any of these drivers at all. I'm not, in real life, I'm not massively into racing. I'm not. If I wanted to watch a race on TV, then chances are I'd be ill. Or it's a very, very big race. Now, when I say big, I mean, you know, it's actually a very important race. It's down to the wire. 4 people could win. Then I would probably watch it. For the most part, I find racing on TV to be like watching paint dry. It's just boring. I think we're going to get some of the drivers who are also at Team Scouted, actually. We'll get some of these lower ones scouted. Now, obviously, some drivers I have heard of, obviously. So, like, for example, if we go to the top here, let's go back to the scouting list. If we go to the very tippy top, we're probably not going to see any of the guys that I know. We'll go by championship, shall we? So, Robert Kubica, or Kubica, I've heard of him. Bruno Senna, again, heard of him. Alexander Rossi, I've heard of, actually. And at the minute, looking at these, that's about it. So, oh, and Fernando Alonso, I know him. Jenson Button, I know him. We're not going to get either of those guys. Lewis Hamilton, Bottas, you know. There's a lot of guys. Hulkenberg, heard of Hulkenberg, you know. There's a lot of drivers. Kimi Räikkönen, fuck me, we're going to scout him. I don't think he's going to come to us, neither is Vettel. But what my point is, as drivers here, we've all heard of them. Now, I just don't know racing particularly well, but I went off on a tangent. So, drivers have potential sort of like bonuses and boosts. Suspension's finished, telemetry centre, whatever. Let's go to the car and have a look at designing another new part. So, medium skied, plus 25 to max. So, something to talk about with regards to, obviously I know for you guys who have seen this before, I know you know what you're doing. I'm just trying to explain it to guys who maybe have never played the game before, maybe you're interested in getting the game, watching this for the first time and thinking, okay, how do I do things? Or, you know, just need a little bit of a tutorial. So, once you've designed a part, you can then unlock a second part for it. So, for example, we had a part with one component, that's all we could build. As you can see, if you look in the top left corner up here, I'll keep pointing at the screen, it'll say 1 of 2 slots filled, which means we can build another part. And if we go over here, you can see the performance. So at the minute, we've got a maximum performance of 35 on this part, and its current performance, as it is 3. And we can improve that performance when we get, like, you know, within the factory. We've got the red zone here and reliability. Now, when it comes to actually making these parts, reliability is not a thing to worry about. Getting the red zone down, a little bit beneficial. But you've got to look at these. So reliability here, not worth doing. Medium speed corners plus 20 is okay. This is medium speed corners plus 25. So it's a lot better than the other one. I keep pointing at it. You can't see where I'm pointing. This one here says build time plus 2 days. It's got medium speed corners plus 25, which is better than that. It's also got reliability plus 5. This one says medium speed corners plus 40 now. Plus 40 is fucking huge. The only problem is it's only during qualifying, so I'm not interested in that. And as you can see here, this one's medium speed corners plus 35 and red zone minus 10. Both things very, very good. But it does have a risk level. Now, with the risk level, it does mean it's potentially an illegal part. If you get found using it, it will get banned, so it's kind of like a waste of a part. I'm going to go with that. And as you can see, as I clicked on that, these bits come up. But we're not going to worry about that in a minute because they're locked. We can't use them either because we haven't got the headquarter upgrade that will allow us to use those. If it was a designer component, I think we can put it in, but an actual proper component we can't until we unlock the ability to use it. But as you can see, the performance from this part will be 28 out of 60 and it'll cost us 900,000. We're going to build that. It's not going to be available till after the race and we're not going to be able to use it straight away after the race because we need to work on its reliability. So, we're going to go to fit parts. We'll go to improve parts first. So if we look at this new suspension we built, as you can see, it's a lot better than the previous two. A hell of a lot better. But the reliability is not that good. Now, I'm not going to worry about improving that part at all. In any way, shape or form. Because we are going to do 2 more suspensions. And then those will be our suspensions for the season. And then we're going to start looking at the engine, the gearbox, the brakes, so on and so forth. So I'm not worried about that. I'm not going to worry about fitting parts. But have a look at this sponsor. We're not going to take it until there's more offers available. I mean, it's not a bad offer, but I want more offers available to us before we do that. Contract proposal. So they want to renegotiate again. Okay, that's fine. He's still not happy that it's our last chance. I'm just going to go all out. I want the guy because of his really, really good thing. Ability. She wants a little bit more money. Or he does even. We'll offer 65. That's fine. Don't need to worry about that. There is another sponsorship available there. So you can see 1.2 million up front. Exactly the same, really, as the Comfort Revolution one. From the Home Depot, that is. But it's just up front instead of over the course of 4 races. And so there's not really much difference there. We're gonna wait though. There'll be another sponsorship available afterwards. So we're nearly at our last chance of him. So we're just gonna offer him 78 grand. Get him in. We need him in because our staff are just terrible. I was hoping to get staff ready before this first race. Now we aren't going to go into the race, as I said, because this is kind of like the intro. But do stay tuned if you want to see more of the series. And I've just realised that if you look at the car, we can't actually see our sponsors because I'm sure I didn't really change much. There's a few sponsors on the top, on the front there, but the rest of them, you can see Granini back there, just about. Anyway, I'll say this introduction. If you want to see the rest of it, please do like, subscribe if you want to keep up to date with the series. The series, I'm pretty sure, is going to be amazing. If you've not seen it yet, it did kind of end abruptly because I had an issue to save file. But if you've not seen it yet and you want to watch something in the meantime, Please do check out my other Motorsport Manager playthrough. We had a custom GT team called Blue Ball Racing. Blue Ball being sort of like a bit like Red Bull, but you know, blue balls. Yeah, check it out if you want to sort of see how Motorsport Manager works, and then come back to this series, because this series is going to be the series that we now concentrate on. So yeah, like and subscribe, and I'll see you when I see you. Bye bye.